Today we are going to discuss a very difficult thing about the Russian grammar. Probably the hardest part is the verbs of motion. The verbs of motion can seem very difficult for foreigners from the very start. But we should always remember that they can be presented from the point of view of different concepts, which I'm going to do. We will use a few lessons because I want to present them to you in the most comfortable for you form. Practice shows that if I use not the conventional concept explaining the grammatical forming of the verbs of motion, but if I use the conditional forms, I will show you everything and explain, and later on during the other lessons we will be forming them using the prefixes, and I will show you how prefixes affect the meaning. Also, we will use phrasal verbs, but today we are going to start with the essential two verbs ходить, идти, which means to walk or to go, and ездить, ехать, which means to go by any vehicle. If it's a bike or a car or a bus, whatever, then we use a different verb. This is the principle we use motion verbs. It really makes sense if you move just like this, walking with your own foot, or if you move using any vehicle. So let's get started. Here is how I'm going to show you the usage of these verbs. As always, I will be giving you the present in the middle, on the left will be past, and future on the right. Настоящее, прошедшее, the past, and future, будущее. Let's start from the imperfective. Imperfective form. Ходить is the infinitive. We use it when the action is repeatual or repeats regularly, or it's multidirectional, like я хожу на работу каждый день. It means like that I go and I come back. Он ходит по комнате. He walks here and there about the room. И так далее. Conjugating of it. Я хожу. Ты ходишь. Он ходит. Она ходит. Оно ходит. Мы ходим. Вы ходите. Они ходят. Past of it. Ходил. Again, we put away this t, and it comes out like ходил. Он ходил. Она ходила. Оно ходило. Again, we pronounce a, but spelled with o for neuter. И ходили, plural. Very easy. And let's take future. Future, буду ходить. Future imperfective is always conjugating of the verb буду, to be, plus infinitive. Я буду ходить. Я буду ходить в театр каждое воскресенье. Like I will be going to the theater every Sunday. Ты будешь, он будет ходить. Мы будем ходить. Вы будете ходить. Они будут ходить. They will be going. They will go. I will go. Actually not continuous. Pay attention that ходить doesn't always mean walk. We use it also when we mean places like work, ходить на работу, school, institute, where we usually go, ходить в театр. It doesn't mean that we walk to the theater. We may take a taxi or go by car, and still we may use in such cases ходить в театр, ходить на работу и так далее. Now the perfective form of this verb ходить, идти. It is mostly used when we mean a continuous action, like куда ты идешь? Where are you going? Я иду на работу. I'm going to work. Я иду к бабушке. I'm going to my grandmother. Идти. Я иду, ты идешь, он идет, мы идем, вы идете, они идут. Look, here it's yat ending, here it's ut ending. Very often it's unpredictable. That's why I recommend with each verb to remember by heart the last form. Past. Look here. Here it's completely different. It's a different stem. Идти. Nothing to do with идти or иду. It's шел. He was going. Он шел. Она шла. Оно шло. Они шли. Also remember that verb идти we may use meaning like it's raining, идет дождь, like the rain is going, or идет снег, или шел снег, it was raining, it was snowing, или шел дождь, it was raining. Also, время шло быстро. The time was going fast. We may say also about время. Время идет. Time goes. Now another form, which I called superperfective. Actually, it's perfective. It expresses the action that takes place only once, concretely. Either concrete direction, either concrete action. Например, я хочу пойти в гости. I want to go for a visit. Идти в гости is to go for a visit somewhere. Я хочу пойти в кино. I want to go to the cinema. Wants to go. Here, pay attention that the present forms of it are the same, like идти. So it doesn't have actually special present forms. Я хочу пойти, it's used like an infinitive. Look here, the past. Пошел, like this verb, but with this prefix по. Пошел, пошла, пошло, пошли. So if we compare these two forms, this is more like a continuous form. Он шел домой медленно. He was walking home slowly. Он пошел домой. He went home or he has gone home. Пошла, пошло, пошли. Grammatically the same but adding prefix по. And future. You take like иду, kind of it, but иду. Instead of I, we spell here I short, and adding по, and it becomes future perfective. Пойду, пойдешь, пойдет, пойдем, пойдете, пойдут. Когда мы пойдем в кино? When will we go to the cinema? Когда ты пойдешь на работу? When are you going? When will you go to work? So what is important here? Remember that if we use this verb, if we add to this present form any prefix, it immediately becomes future perfective. The thing that will take place once. Let's take an example. Let's take another verb, приходить. If we know this main stuff, it will be very easy for you to understand the other verbs that are connected with prefixes plus these forms. Приходить, prefix при means coming, approaching to the speaker. Приходить is to be coming, to come. Прийти, perfective, very easy. For both of them, it can be spelled both ways, прийти или прийти. The present, conjugating it in present form, is for both the same. Прихожу, приходишь, приходит, приходим, приходите, они приходят. Like ходят, just add при. For the both forms, for imperfective and perfective present, conjugating forms are like this. For the past, easy. Приходил, приходила, приходила, приходили. Here is пришел, пришла, пришло, пришли. Like here, but adding pre. And guess how do we form future perfective? We take this иду, идешь, идет, идем and add prefix pre. Я приду, I will come. Ты придешь, он придет, она придет, мы придем, вы придете, они придут. So I recommend you to know all these forms by heart. This is all for today of this grammar. I'm going to show you a short video to show how practically we use these verbs, because looking on this sheet of paper and trying to analyze all these forms is one thing, but listening to them, trying to use them correctly in everyday speech is a different thing. So I recommend you to watch the video. I'll give you the sentences I'm using in this video, and good luck. We'll be continuing with the motion verbs. Сейчас мы пойдем гулять. Мы пойдем гулять с моей собачкой. Мы идем. Это большая собака, а это маленькая собачка. Это моя собачка, и мы ходим гулять каждый день. Сейчас мы идем по дорожке. По дороге – это когда дорога большая, а по дорожке – это когда дорожка маленькая. Кики, пойдем. Пойдем гулять. Бакс, Фу. Две большие собаки и еще две маленькие. Мы идем гулять. Идем по дороге. Идем прямо. Сейчас мы во дворе. Идем прямо. Мы должны выйти. Сейчас мы выходим из двора. Выходим гулять. Мы вышли. И идем направо. Пойдем направо. Собачки будут бегать. Вчера мы тоже ходили гулять, но мы пошли не направо, а налево. А сейчас мы поворачиваем направо. Собачки, пошли! Сейчас мы идем уже обратно и скоро придем домой. Сейчас мы идем уже по дороге. Дорога большая и длинная. Вот мы уже подходим к дому. Почти пришли. Уже вечер, но еще не темно. Сейчас мы подойдем к дому и посмотрим. Идем прямо и налево. Когда мы ушли гулять, большие собаки остались. Они не пошли гулять. Мы подошли к воротам. Сейчас мы откроем ворота. Мы заходим во двор. Мы зашли во двор. Большие собаки ждали нас. И мы идем домой. Expression when we use the ходить, the word ходить. Ходить вокруг да около, which means to beat around the bush. And if to translate it exactly, it can be translated like to walk around and near, not to go straight to the subject. This is it. Thank you. Все, спасибо. До встречи.